an injunction against the Telem group of companies, where we was requesting for the company to do a manpower assessment and the integration of employees from Samatan Cable TV into Telem Group. At the 29th of December, we received a verdict where the Samatan Communication Union won the case. And the 2nd of January, employees went to work, and the company doors were shut. And there we called the government mediator, and Mr. Leroy Brooks was assigned to the case for the lockout. And we only received an email from Mr. Brooks stating that he requested Mr. Dupusoy to inform the union as the reason why of the lockout, which that's not how to go about business. I'll come back to that after. And from there, after we noticed that we're not getting any assistance from the government mediator, we decided to meet with Mr. Dupusoy on January 3rd. And on January 3rd, we had a lengthy discussion where Mr. Dupusoy has indicated that he wanted the employees from KBTV to stay home while he's going to do the manpower assessment, and while waiting for the decision of the Labor Department for the mass dismissal. So we as union be saying, if your intention is to pay all those employees their salary to stay home, why not allow them to work? If we're talking about financial situation, then we don't leave employees stay home. We use them to work, and then while we're waiting for the same manpower assessment, and then we don't have to exploit the employees that works at Telem, because while the employees from KDV is not working, the employees from Telem are being requested to carry out the tasks and responsibilities from the employees from KDV, which where the employees from Telem don't have the proper training to carry out that services. So at that point as well, we told Mr. Dupusoy that once the employees return to work, the employees at Telem will be at ease. The customers will be happy. He, as a CEO, will shine. The union will be at ease. So it is a four-way road where everybody will win. And while we're waiting for the same manpower assessment, and we're waiting for the same decision of the Labor Department for the mass dismissal. Well, he wanted that in writing. We sent that email yesterday morning. His reply that he's still waiting on his legal advice to advise him of which direction to take, that he will be sending an answer to the union today, the 4th of January. Well, we're still waiting on the answer from Mr. Dupusoy.
What are some of the real bottlenecks that force Telem to send employees home and to close, shut the company down, and operation is still operating, cable is still operating, and the service for the people who needs to get service and pay the internet bill, because it still is in operation?
Correct, everything is in operation. I don't see what bottleneck they could have, because as I mentioned just now, Telem Group is going to pay the employees anyhow. So I don't see the problem to allow them to continue working. I know that the verdict says that by January 28th, the manpower assessment has to be ready. So, and by February 10th, the integration process has to start. When the integration process starts, it might take maybe 2 or 3 weeks. And in between there, employees could still work. And when we finish with the integration process, there's where we're going to know who all will be transferred into Telem and who all will have to be the one that's going to be laid off. So bottleneck don't exist in this matter. As a matter of fact, it will be alleviated for the employees from Telem, because right now they are being forced to carry out a duty that they don't have no training for, which where we also requested mediation for this matter because, again, Mr. Duposoy did not sit at the table with the union to discuss the new services that wants to be implemented, that wants the current staff to carry out. Anytime you're going to implement new services, you need to do a manpower assessment to find out if your current staff could handle the workload that you're trying to enforce on them, which that was not done. So for that reason, we also have a meeting January 9 at 10 at the Labor Department, where we requested this, mediation for the same matter.
Now I understood that from some of the workers that they are paying them off and sending them home. Some of them they are putting on contract, and some that maybe only have about 3 more years to work and then they're set to go on pension. How is that standing right now with the union?
Well, for those who sign the layoff plan that the company presented, the union currently cannot do much for them because they sign and agree on something that the union didn't take part of. For those who stay back, the union is going to negotiate to utilize the social plan and the CLA that is currently being used in TLM, where people who are close to 60 or above 60, we have packages that could suit them for roughly 2 years, and after 2 years, then they will run into the old age pension, stuff like that. So we have packages, we have plans already that we utilized in the year 2012 when we did the restructuring at this company. That just a matter of signing protocols and reuse the same documents.
Now, throughout the years, you've been having a lot of struggles in Martin Cable TV that it reached a point now that it's closed down. Why did you have all of this amount of struggle with this company?
The struggle comes when you find people who don't want to communicate, people who trying to do things their way instead of doing it the right way. As I mentioned on several occasions, maybe it's because I understand the process. The process seems to be very easy for me, and the director, the CEO, maybe don't have the knowledge and experience that I have to know that this is a very easy process where if parties sit at the table, dialogue, and reach agreements, it will be a very smooth process. Because this process, we did it with four companies already, and it went smooth. I must mention, at those days, Mr. Satnell was the one leading the company when we did the restructuring from telcel, telnet, and Smithcoms. We merged all those 4 companies into one company, and with every single step, the union was involved. We sat at the table. We did have disagreement, but with those disagreements, we find ourselves and move forward. So it's not everything we're going to be agreeing upon. We're going to have disagreement, but wherever we have disagreement, we find ourselves. We just have to find the common ground and move forward. And my belief is that the CEO don't have the experience around that area, and I believe he should look for advice and try to find a common ground and sit with the union and let's negotiate in the better interest for the employees, for the company, and for the customer of these businesses.
Now, let's say, for instance, everything doesn't work out for the plan for the unions, for the workers of St. Martin Cable TV. What would be next?
Well, there is always the possibility to return to court. Yeah, there is always a possibility to return to court because when you have a lockout, it is something illegal to do with employees. Yeah, if you're going to close your business because of the mass dismissal, you have to sit with the union, and that's where you're going to inform the union. You have to put on paper the intentions that you have. You have to put on paper that you will remain the employer to pay employees, that employees don't have nothing to worry about in the meantime until the decision of the master smelter come out, if it come out positive or negative for the employee. But in this case, there is nothing. So for that reason, we instructing our members from cable TV to every morning go at the building and punch in, because if you punch in, that means that you're working.
How can they punch in when all the doors are locked?
The card for the back door is working. They could go in and punch, but they cannot work. So they are samely locked out. They cannot function in their duties. There is nothing for them to do there. The place is shut down. But the badge is working, so they're going in and they're punching and they're coming back out.
Hey guys, did you know that now with Telcel, if you accumulate $25 or more within one calendar month, you get 15 more?
15 more?
Yes, 15 more. However you want.
So I can top up $3 now, $10 next week, and so on until I reach or pass $25?
That's right. Get 15 more.
Wow! I feel like a 15 again.
Yeah. Right. Accumulate $25 or more within one calendar month and get 15 more. Telcel, when you want more.
GEBE has been faithfully serving the communities of St. Martin, powering your home and our economy. Come rain or shine, our qualified team of professionals are working hard 24 hours a day to provide you and your family with safe, reliable electricity and water. We use the latest technologies and test our products daily to maintain the highest international standards. Our friendly staff is always there to assist you, whether in person, over the phone, or online. We are committed to constantly improving our products and services, making them more efficient, effective, and environmentally friendly to serve you better today and our next generation of clients tomorrow. GEBE, powering a brighter future.
Our friend Megawati is here with tips to save you energy. 1. Turn your airco temperature up. 2. Use a ceiling fan instead. 3. Buy energy-saving products. Save some green with NV.
When Britain saw that the Dutch territories in the Caribbean had acquired that autonomous position, in 1960, they established what was called the West Indian Federation. That collapsed a year after. The Netherlands Antilles continued until Aruba left. And in 2010, it was totally dismantled. So instead of we going forward, we have gone a few steps backward. So the challenge for our future leaders is to understand the dynamics of the Caribbean. And I'm saying this because the trade union movement has been the forerunner prior to 60. One of the last major revolutions or uprising in the Caribbean was in Curacao in 69. And that was so important that Holland had to understand and respect even more the rights of these islands. Well, until recently, because of lack of the right education, because of lack of knowing our history, knowing where we came from, knowing who we are, and where we're heading to, we find ourselves in this situation where instead of going forward, we're at a standstill, or in some cases, we make a few steps backward. So that's, in summary, an answer that you have to know your history, you have to know who you are, where you came from, you have to know where you're at, and where you want to lead the people, your people. So for any young aspiring, or even already in the arena, knowing international treaties, knowing the obligation of Holland as the colonizer, knowing your own responsibility for integrity, and all that would give you that guidance or that prelude towards acquiring self-governing or self-government, because we don't have it right now. You have to know what are the rights that you have in that whole process, and the rights and obligation of the colonizer, in this case, Holland. That's very important to understand. And instead of the battle between Holland and St. Martin, it's uncalled for, simply because our own political leadership doesn't understand that UN Charter on decolonization and the obligation and the rights of Holland. One of Holland's main responsibility is good governance. And if you don't understand that in definition, it's open to interpretation, like a law. Laws are ambiguous, open to interpretation. That's why you have jurisprudence. And if you as a lawyer understand and apply the application of laws, jurisprudence, then you are able to win a court case. If not, you will lose. And that's what we lack. We lack knowledge and understanding. We can get along very good with the Dutch, but we must understand our role and their role.
One of my last questions I want to ask you, Tom, before we leave from here. Recently, the Minister of Finance has talked about the hospitality. We need to get the hospitality back up again, because since after the hurricane, we need to give good service to the people. And I know you represent a lot of the workers of the hotels, and that's especially in that area, hospitality. Would you say that the hospitality has dropped, or is it increased? I know you talked about education a little while ago, but that was more in the section of technology. How are we standing right now with that hospitality?
Customer service is the key to success in hospitality. A couple years ago, the Bahamas faced a dilemma in terms of customer service. They had a fall, and they did a complete assessment, evaluation, and decided that this is the way for the future. They went through the process of informing their population, their people, their young people in particular. They came back, and that stabilized the economy. If we look at other islands now in the Caribbean, I remember one time a couple of years ago when I used to go to Curacao for training, you had when we're coming from St. Martin and you look at the service that they give down there, it was below standard. Later I went back, and the hospitality, the customer service did improve tremendously. You go to places like Aruba, who look at St. Martin at a time when the friendly island was the logo, hospitality. That was it. We had it. Barbados, they sent many delegations here to St. Martin in the past to look at what we were doing, how we were attracting this large amount of tourists, cruise ships. They went back. They didn't follow suit, but they made a tailor-made program in customer service because they were doing a transformation from sugar to hospitality. And they did a reasonable job. We have become complacent because we have been doing well. But in recent times, we have seen that we have been slowing down in this customer service proficiency. All of these countries or islands that I refer to, they have a hospitality school where they train and educate workers going into that field of hospitality.
People all across St. Martin are switching to a more rewarding experience. The WIB MasterCard Fun Miles credit card, better known as My Card. Earn 1 Fun Mile for every $2 spent, even abroad and online. This will quickly get you a ton of Fun Miles to redeem for travel, shopping, food, fuel, and much more. But there's more to My Card. Worldwide acceptance, an EMV chip for extra security, and 250 free Fun Miles with first use. Switch to My Card today at WIB.
Fun miles from within your reach.
Hey guys, did you know that now with Telcel, if you accumulate $25 or more within 1 calendar month, you get 15 more?
15 more?
Yes, 15 more. However you want.
So I can top up $3 now, $10 next week, and so on until I reach or pass $25?
That's right. Get 15 more.
Wow! I feel like a 15 again.
Yeah. Right. Accumulate $25 or more within 1 calendar month and get 15 more. Telcel, when you want more.
It's been said that behind every door, possibility awaits. How much possibility depends on which door you open first. Every day, we help our customers discover the possibilities in their lives. It all starts with a conversation. Scotiabank. Discover what's possible.
1,
2,
3,
4. This is how common it is to develop a mental illness. 1 out of every 4.
4,
4.
4. But there is hope. Today, most mental illnesses can be managed and treated. Visit your general doctor if you feel concerned about your thoughts and behaviors or have some difficulty dealing with some of life's issues.
If you have been diagnosed and are suffering from a mental illness, keep in mind these 4 points to help you manage your mental health.
1. Get regular checkups with your general doctor.
2. Stay on your treatment plan to prevent relapses.
3. Find a strong support group in your family and friends.
And 4. Never be afraid to ask for help and look out for the warning signs of your illness.
Remember, you are not alone. We are as close as one.
2.
3.
4.
Learn about mental health illness by going to the Mental Health Foundation's website at www.mhf-sxm.com.
With a new year, we are granted new opportunities and chances to make a difference, give our life a different course, or just continue to do as we had been doing all along. A new year for the people of St. Martin, however, brings forth wonderful opportunities for us to rebuild better and stronger than we once were. After the passing of Hurricane Irma, the morale and energy of the people were shattered. However, soon after, our people have shown and continue to show that their strength and perseverance comes from within. The people of St. Martin rose above expectations and proved their resilience to St. Martin and the world. Day by day, electricity and water are being restored, house by house. Slowly but surely, we see businesses reopening. We see new businesses being established, and we see homes being fixed. The entrepreneurial spirit that had forged a strong part of our culture has re-emerged, and those who may have lost their jobs have sought ways from which they can turn their hand, as we used to say. For 2018, I hope and pray that we can work for a better St. Martin. It will not be a walk in the park, however, but we ought to remember the reason we are working hard and rebuilding our nation is to ensure our people are contributors and benefactors of our economic development, and that our children and youth are provided with every opportunity for access to resources and education, sports, and the arts, which will help to nurture them and build their future as the leaders of this country in all sectors. Our country deserves the best, and we must ensure that we are catering to produce the best in all aspects for the longevity of St. Martin and her people. In 2018, be more thankful for life, as although one life lost was one too many, many more lives have been spared. Many more lives still have an opportunity to start over, to build. Build yourself, build your community, build St. Martin. I would like to ask the people of St. Martin that in this year 2018, especially seeing what we have been through in 2017, that we as parents and even those without children take time to spend more quality time with our families. The family is the core of the country, and strong families will indeed build a strong St. Martin. Strive to make this coming year the year you invest more in your children and their dreams and teach them the art of philanthropy, to go out there and give back to others, something that really served us well and reminded us of who we are after Hurricanes Irma and Maria. After the holiday season is over, after all the decorations have been packed away, the lights, and the children may have even broken their toys, let us continue to look around, not only inside, look around and see who out there needs our help. Who are the ones most in need, especially since the passage of these two hurricanes. Even before that, we had our people in need, and there were many organizations giving their all. I would like to continue to encourage all, individuals as well as organizations, to give back to those in need, especially now. We know that pride plays a very big role in our culture as well, and some will try to hide it. But through our churches, our schools, our after-school programs, and other community efforts, I am sure we'll be able to identify and assist those most in need. The Ministry of Education, Culture, Youth, and Sport continues to pledge to work tirelessly to ensure quality education is accessible to all the students of St. Martin. The struggles of funding will be a hurdle for all for years to come. However, we have proven in the past, and we will continue to prove that we will make do with the resources provided, because the strength of St. Martin is her people. We are thankful for all the donations received thus far to enable and make sure that education could have continued. Moving ahead, the reconstruction will pose even more challenges, and I ask the population, the students, the teachers, and all concerned for your patience in us moving forward in getting our schools back to where they need to be, and even better. May the coming year be filled with joy, great health, love, dreams, even magic, and progress for all. May you dream and live as only you can. And on behalf of the ministry and the government of St. Martin, I take this time out on behalf of my family, the cabinet, and myself to wish each and every person on St. Martin a blessed, prosperous, and healthy New Year 2018.